Our first guest is a supermodel, an entrepreneur, an activist, an author, a host, and most importantly, a new mom. Please welcome the incredible Ashley Graham. Ashley, what's up?
I'm so excited for you. This is awesome!
Yeah, I mean, this is really fun, and obviously things have been very eventful for you. You just had your first baby in January. How is little Isaac?
Yes, little Isaac, he's 9 months old now. There he is, and he's 9 months old. He's got 4 teeth, and he loves to use them when he's nursing. So I don't know what you guys have done, but I'm trying to teach him sign language. So I'm like, no, 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 no. And then if it's a yeah, I'm like, yes, no, no, no. I think he's confused, but he knows that on the booby is bad.
It's a bad thing, yeah. It's funny because it's like, you know, during these times, they really have a mind of their own, right? And it happens so quickly. They go from this like cute little blob of literally just all surrender to then their own little being, right? And then, you have to teach them.
He runs the show.
Yeah.
He's 100% running the show. Thank goodness he's not walking yet, but he climbs up on everything. Yours is 11-month-old now?
Yes, 11 months old, and she just started walking. I'm telling you now, get ready. The chase is so real. Like, it just cherish the moment you're in right now, because once he get that locomotion going, it's a wrap for you. I'm just saying, it's a wrap for you.
I love it. I'm actually so excited to have another one. I'm just like, let's do it.
Yo, well, that is, good. The best of luck to you. They're most beautiful thing, but so challenging.
Wait, do you have parent advice? You have 3.
Yeah, here's the thing. The parenting advice is this. You know, you got to take it a day. You got to take it a day at a time, and also just be a team, right? Like, you know, there's 2 of y'all there. Y'all got, like, we used to do the man-to-man coverage because we had 2, but then we got a 3rd one. Things get a little interesting. You know what I'm saying? But also, her oldest sister is 11, so we kind of got a built-in babysitter there. You know, so it's good. You know. Now look, let me switch gears for just a quick second. I want to talk about your Instagram following and what you post, because I love it. It's real, it's raw, and they're bold, and your posts always tend to start a conversation.
Yes, it does. You know what? And it's about dang time my body starting a conversation. I mean, the thing is I think that we should be celebrating women of all shapes, ages, races, whatever they identify as. I think that this is something that's really important. And if my curves are going to start a conversation, let's keep it positive, and let's let every other woman celebrate herself and her body. This is exactly what we should be doing.
Absolutely.
Celebrating women for who they are.
100%. Love it. And it's the time for real conversations, because also something that we have in common is we're both in interracial marriages, and during this time, especially, like, it's a very interesting time in the country and just around the world right now. What have those conversations at home been like? I know Isaac is only 9 months, but what have those conversations been like for you?
Well, Justin and I have been married for 10 years, so we've been having these conversations, these hard conversations for our whole marriage, even when we started dating. And I feel like when you're in an interracial relationship, it's even more of a duty for the white person to ask questions and to gain as much information as possible. But, you know, this is a time to not shy away from this. This is a time to have deep conversations about discrimination and racism in America. And our children need to know what's happening. They need to know the facts, because if they're going out on the street and they're not armed with the proper information, we don't know what's going to happen. So this is something that we don't take lightly, and I don't take lightly. But, you know, as Isaac continues to grow up and becomes a man, this is where I'm going to really let Justin take over. But I also need to be armed with this information as his mother. Of
course, absolutely. And it is incredibly important, not only just for us as a family unit, but really just for the rest of the world as well. Because another interesting thing that that we don't really get to talk about that much too is the cultures that we have to equip our children with, because they are multicultural, right?
They are, and
Yeah,
How
go
do
ahead.
you guys do that at home?
So honestly, it's a continuous work in progress. It is conversation on conversation. It's from just obviously being African American. It's about teaching about the pride in that culture and all of the influences that we've brought to the country, that we've brought to the world. And then also with that too, it's cultures on both sides. Do you see what I'm saying? And just giving them a well-rounded knowledge of who they really are,
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I'm going to take that information in and continue to just fill up Isaac with exactly who he is. I'm so excited to watch him grow up, and I want
Yeah.
him to know exactly who he is.
Absolutely. And so you've been, and with all that, you've been very busy. It's a really great time for you. You filmed a digital series for us in Nebraska. We actually did an episode together, and we'll talk about that a little later. But now you're back.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you did great though. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. But look, you just got back to work. You're on your 3rd season of your podcast. It premieres tomorrow. What can we expect from that?
Well, pretty big deal. Season 3 out on Tuesday, the 27th.
Hey.
And, we started the podcast in 2018, and I really feel like the name refers to the guests because I basically have my own personal mentor that's sitting in the chair with me. I can ask them anything, and we just have this dialogue of, it's almost like a master class, if you say.
Mm-hmm.
So my first interview is with Chelsea Handler, and she talks about her 6-year hiatus, coming back onto HBO, and her whole tour is called Evolution.
Right.
And it's about her evolution and finding out who she is, talking about white privilege, talking about her therapy. It gets really deep. And if you are a person like me who wants to grow and learn and become better, I think that you will really enjoy Pretty Big Deal.
And that's great too, because I think at a time like this, that conversation is one of the most important currencies, right? Like honest conversation. So I implore everybody watching right now and hearing this right now to make sure you check that out. The 3rd season of Ashley's podcast, Pretty Big Deal, premieres tomorrow. Make sure you check it out wherever you get your podcasts.